All right, so in number 36 and 7.2, I have a circle. Circle. Of radius 5, which is centered at -6, comma 7. Okie dokes. And then, oops, badly drawn. There's a line through the middle of this thing. What's the line that's horizontal through the middle?
Oh, what is it actually though?
Yeah, what's the equation of this line?
X equals 7.
That is the line y equals 7. What's this vertical line through the center?
X equals -6.
X is -6. Nice, guys. Okay, then I'm supposed to, if this is an angle theta here, I'm supposed to figure out what the coordinates of this point here are.
Okay.
Okay, dokes? So, no. I think I want a sine and a cosine, right?
That works too. Sine over cosine.
Okay, so what's the, what am I going to attempt to do? I need to find the x and the y coordinate here, right? So if I knew, for instance, this side here was, I don't know, I'm going to call that side A for
Apple.
for opposite.
For adjacent.
How about for adjacent?
How about since it's the adjacent side, let's go for adjacent. Also, opposite spelled with an O last I checked. Okay, so I got a side that I'm calling A, right?
Sure.
And then
How about A minus 6?
this x coordinate here is going to be
Plus
A plus
6. A plus.
It's going to be A.
A minus 6.
A plus because it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
A plus.
-6 plus.
I think you guys are getting there, yeah. So
-6 plus.
I'm liking Glenn's phrasing best, which was, say that loud.
6 plus cosine. Or 5 cosine.
Yeah, maybe so -6 plus A, right? Why? So if you think about starting at the origin, right? Like wherever the heck the origin is.
What? The origin?
Yeah, the origin's someplace over here, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right, because I went back 6 and up 7. So someplace over here is 0, 0. If you were giving a little fellow standing at the origin instructions for how to get to that point there, right? You might tell him, walk out to the line, x is -6, right?
Yeah.
And then go back this way, A.
Okay.
You guys see that?
Yeah, I get it.
So that would be -6 in the x direction, and then plus A back. That's why I like the -6 plus A as opposed to the A minus 6, which is mathematically equivalent, but kind of thought-wise different, right? So that's how you get him to the right x coordinate. How do you get him to the right y? Basically the same thing, right? You're going to tell him to walk
7 minus B.
up 7,
Minus B or whatever.
and then,
Yeah, let's use B instead of O.
yeah, let's use B instead of O. I'm good with that. So I'm going to call this side B. So I went up 7, right? That got me to here.
And then go right, and go left
And then
6,
go
and back
up
A,
B.
not B.
Yeah, and then I need to go up B, and then do the other thing for the x coordinate, right? So this is going to be, what's this guy?
7 plus
7 plus B.
That's going to be 7 plus B. You guys see that?
Yeah.
What if theta was on the other side? No.
Could we just solve it with Pythagorean's theorem and use A right from the get-go? Like B equals the square root of 25.
Oh yeah, you could totally put in an A here, or a function of A here, right? From the Pythagorean theorem. That would be totally fine. I think I can figure out what that is without using the Pythagorean theorem, but if you want to use it, go for it.
Does it say 3, 4, 5
Not necessarily.
Doesn't, when the hypotenuse is 5, and the...
When the hypotenuse is 5, sometimes it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Sometimes it's a something, something 5 triangle. right? Like, obviously, this triangle is not a 3, 4, 5 triangle.
Okay.
The one that I've drawn, at least, right? Because these are essentially the same size.
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay, so where do I get A from? What was A?
Yeah, is your
Is your
yeah, cosine.
Okay, so you think ca, right? So adjacent over 5 is
Cosine of theta.
cosine of theta.
Yeah.
Okay, so A by itself is
Yeah.
5 cosine theta. So here I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking ca,
Yeah.
right? And then here I'm multiplying by 5.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with that information?
plug it into A.
Take that, shove it into A. So I think I have -6 plus 5 cosine theta, comma, and then this guy should be 7 plus b, right?
Yeah.
And what's b going to be?
Sine.
Sine is gonna be.
Sine,
sine.
yeah.
So b over 5 is
Yeah, it's going to be 5 sine.
5.
So I got 7 plus 5 sine of theta. You guys with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, and in general, you can figure this out as this is x naught plus the radius times the cosine of theta, comma, y naught plus the radius times cosine of theta. Wait, what did I screw up just there?
Sine.
Should be sine for the vertical bit, right? And what if theta is not in the first quadrant?
And you use the negative stuff.
Yeah, and actually the sine and the cosine will take care of that stuff for you, right?
Yeah. So you just make sure that you're gonna be.
You just like think about it,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah, like
Just
add
when
up
you're
this.
computing, you might need reference angles, right? But this theta doesn't have that is not itself a reference angle necessarily, right? That might be like 135 degrees, which is how much in radians?
135 degrees.
Divided by 180 times pi.
Gross.
I can't do that in my head.
3 pi over 4.
Yeah, because you already knew that.
Yes, I did already know that.
Okay.
Really, I'm thinking that's 45 degrees past 90, right? 90 is a pi over 2,
Yep.
and 45 is a pi over 4, so that's 3 pi over 4s.
Yep.
Cool?
Yep.